Here with us now, NBC News political director and NBC News chief White House correspondent Chuck Todd joins us this morning.
He
Chuck,
looks so official.
He's
in front of columns.
Yes, he is. Well,
Goodness.
What can I say?
That's
so
exciting.
dapper this morning.
It is. It's dark. It's rainy. I'm trying to figure out whose idea was it to do this job?
Yeah, welcome to the White House.
This is suddenly this outdoorness, this weather.
24/7, my
Chuck,
friend.
let's go through the list very quickly.
Yeah.
Senator Burris, is it going to happen?
Oh, it's delicious.
Yes, I think it's going to happen. The question is it happen? You know, my favorite thing is, you know, if I thought that gambling were something worth pursuing as a hobby, and I don't recommend it, I think the odds would say Burris is a senator before Franken.
Oh.
And it would be fun, though, to lay those odds. You know, it's like, what is the over-under on those two?
And what about
Burris versus Franken? I'd take Burris, and in fact, I might take Burris by the end of the week.
Oh, wow.
My money would be on Burris also, but let's talk about Al Franken. How ironic that he was certified winner, but he's not going to be sworn in, most likely again before Burris. Who Democrats just last week said, there's no way in hell we're going to let this guy into the Senate chamber.
You know, I'll tell you, there's some Senate Democrats who still smarting at the Harry Reid decision to compromise on Joe Lieberman. Remember the whole controversy about whether to punish Joe Lieberman by taking away his committee chairmanship. It was decided not to do that. They punished him on a subcommittee front and another way, but it was really a slap on the wrist. Now, you know, it's like, okay, all right, Harry Reid, you caved a little bit on Lieberman. Are you caving on Burris? Now, that said, the Reid folks will come back and say, hey, we're just on shaky legal ground. And do we sit here while we're trying to convince the country to somehow side with us to pass a $1 trillion stimulus package? Do we want to get sidetracked by a fight over a senator who the person himself, nobody seems to have a problem with Roland Burris, the person. Everybody seems to have a problem with the process. Still, the fact that this is now the second time where Harry Reid has put down his fist and said, this will not stand, and then he says, oh, by the way, okay, it can stand, but it will not stand the next time.
Well, and you know, the thing is, though, you say no problem with him as a person, maybe not, but I think you've even pointed out they're very concerned about having this guy on the ticket in 2010.
Yeah.
Let's move to
Wait,
New
hold on.
York
The AP
and
is just
Caroline.
reporting that Burris is now saying, just to add to his point, that he was legally appointed to the Senate and he plans to take a seat.
All right. And Jesus is on his side. Let's talk about New York. Caroline Kennedy, we heard she was a favorite, then we heard she was losing support. Now we're hearing again from some of Patterson's closest aides that she's in. What are you hearing?
Well, there was a lot of speculation that everything was going to be happening very, very quickly. Now, of course, it's our understanding that Patterson is now asking for a questionnaire to be filled out. It's a 28-page questionnaire that they sent to not just Caroline Kennedy, but 5 other potential candidates, obviously much lesser known than Caroline. Patterson has to give his state of the state, I believe it's tomorrow. And the assumption was he wasn't going to step on that and somehow make the appointment and have no one listen to that. I think at this point, Patterson is going to stick to his plan of waiting till the seat is actually vacant. Hillary Clinton's confirmation hearings begin next week, not this week. Some of them are this week. Some of them are next week. Hers will be next week. She probably gets confirmed and she resigns her seat by the end of next week. My guess is in and around the inauguration is when we'll see the appointment. But I would be surprised if it's not Caroline at this point. I think Patterson realizes 2 things. 1, don't put a caretaker in. That's just a distraction. And 2, you put in Caroline, and I'll tell you, $100 million will find its way to the New York Democratic Party for its campaign in 2010, which, by the way, Patterson is running for his first full term as governor.
That is the bottom line.
Transactional politics, baby.
Oh, yeah, baby. That's what, and Blago gets in trouble for it. Hey, let me ask you, Chuck, you want to go out and see the Cubs play this spring with Blago, Barnacle, Willie, and Mika, and myself?
Kind of a motley crew.
I think that's a great idea. You know, the Cubs, by the way, just signed one of the other upstanding members of the community, Milton Bradley. I want to see Milton Bradley and Blagojevich sort of in a one-on-one.
I
tell you,
Cubs fan.
I tell you, Milton Bradley, he ought to be put in charge of guarding the governor. It would be a fun little pairing.
I love it.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Chuck, if they signed Milton Bradley a week ago, he might be going to the Senate instead of Burris.
You know what? They both probably have about the same chance of holding that seat in the long term. But look, I hear there is a fine ambassadorship with Roland Burris's name on it at some point.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, we got to go, Chuck, really quickly. Who's the best college football team in America?
Well, I don't think we saw them last night. I apologize. I'm sorry, Mark Murray. I don't think we saw them last night. I guess it's the Gators. But you know what? I want to mess up the BCS. My vote's for Utah, baby. They're undefeated.
Okay.
Why not Utah?
We were just talking. We don't know if USC or Florida or Utah is the best team in America.
USC clobbered Ohio State.
Yep.
Yeah. USC.
I'm just saying.
It'd be hard to bet against them. Okay,
That's
we'll do
enough.
this some other time.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thanks for
The
watching
Utes.
Cold Pizza.